Hello, people. How are you? I hope that everything is okay. So we are back. So let's work into programming, working to developing software using .NET Core. I am Dra, and the subject today is working to class and object. Okay. So open your Visual Studio, our favorite idea, and let's create a new project and choose the option of console template app. Okay, let's waiting. So choose this option, console application, and let's set the project name working with class. Next, 3.1 version, clicking the creating button, waiting the solution is created for us. Okay, waiting for some little times. This is creating every structure that you need. Today we'll see how the concept about the class and how to work into objects. Okay, it's very simple. It's very necessary. Use it because for every system and app that you'll be creating, you should be using probably using in working to class. And to this moment, we all time working using the class. The main class, our programs called program. Okay, in the class, the syntax, the form to programming using in class, we need using the keyword class. Okay, very simple. So we have the program class when we initialize our solution. The program is executing from this class, but today we are see how creating a new class. But the first of everything, what is class? The class is the main and the core um, resource that we use in the every language that work into programming oriented objects. Okay, because um, it's from a class we have the possibility to creating a different templates models to use to creating and represent everything something about the real world. So and the resume from class is a template that you can use to build things. Doesn't matter what you would you like to create in. Be a people, a car, an animal, and characters for cartoon. You probably using this resource class. Okay, it's very important to understand how to create an instantiated and how to work and using the class. Okay, so the other form, the other analogy to understand a little more about the class is thinking about a cake pen is the object that you use to make your cakes. Okay, the cake pan. You have a single cake pan, but from this unique cake pan, you can create and make them different types of cakes. So you can to cake chocolate cake. You can to create carrot with chocolate cake, orange cake. Okay, doesn't matter the what you have inside of your cake. The place where you can to creating your cake is from the cake pan. Okay, the other analogy it's using a house plant or plant of apartment to building to creating a new house or a new apartment. You uh, using like a basic the engineering and architect using as the basic a plant for home. So doesn't matter the form that you organizing your objects, your um, the things inside your home. Use your plant. You can to create a lot different house, but the template is the same. The base is the same place. Okay, so the class working the same form, the same thing. Okay, so to create a new class, we are click on a writing button in our project and choose the option of add. And you can choose the option on the item and after choose the class, or we have a shortcut in this menu using this option class. Okay, so clicking class. So to exemplify, let's create a class to represent a people. Okay, and more specify, we are creating a class for a contact, for my contact list. So we need to insert a name for our class. So I insert a contact. Okay, clicking in add, and voila, we have our class already created. It's basically just more simple syntax. Okay, the keyword class, the name for a class, I'm using the pair of keys. Okay, we have the other keyword called as public. Is the form to control the form that the other parts of our project see our class. For while, for the we are using the public. Okay, anymore. And inside of my class, I define every structure that I can use to define what are characterized my content. Okay, so the first thing that I could think is for content, it's every content have a name. So I created some variables using with type, like we are saw in the other videos, and insert a name for this variable. So my contents have a name, so inserted this name option. Okay, and this specific variable using inside from a class receiving a new name for us is a property. So I have a property called name represented by my content class, right? So let's create an other properties for my content. So I have other properties called email. So in this option, I inserted the email for my content. Okay, I'm creating the other properties called phone, the phone number, and three properties I'm using the same type string because I use some text for insert this information. Okay. So okay, for while it's enough. I can use and create other properties using different types. I can use the numbers, using the double, integer, or other type for numbers. I could be using the date time to represent some date. And I have other types like booleans, okay, to define if yes, some property is true or false. But for while, let's working using only three properties. Okay, very nice. So the other things that I need to configure from my properties inside of my class is this the same mode I have this keyword public, the that define the roles of viewing for my class. I have the same for my properties. Okay, so for while I using the same um, role for define the view visualization for my properties. So I work into public. Nice. So this my basically it's every information that I define it now for while for my class contact. Okay, so it's the contact. It's my template. It's my model for creating contacts. So how I can to create a contacts now? I created my template, my model that represent my contact. So let's test this. back from my product class with this main method, and I remove this line. And now we are creating some real world context using this template. Okay, so for creating a new context, I creating a variable, but now my type is not a string, integer, double, or boolean. I using the type that I created for my class. So the content is our type now. Okay. So I creating, for example, my content one. So is the form I'm declaring an object or variable for this type of content. When I work into class, I don't call this um, resource like variable. I call this resource like object. Okay, so it's very common using the common. You'll see I for every code call the every resource like objects because every I represent a variable using some class. I have an object. Okay, so in this line I create an object called content one. In the next line, I would like creating using this object content one, and I need creating in fact this object because in this line I only declare the content one, but I don't create in fact in the memory this object. Okay. Okay, so once a time I'm creating, I declare the variable. For creating the memory, I need to instantiate my object, and I make it is using this keyword called new. When I use a new and inform the type for my class, I create in fact my object. So one line I declare, in the second line I create my object. Okay. Very nice. All the forms working this is I create an, I declare my variable. So let's create the contact two. And in the same line, I using this instantiated my object. The two forms is valid. Okay. And the same time I have the dynamically creating variables. I can to using and dynamically, sorry, form to creating my objects. So I could using the keyword var to creating my contact tree and equals a new contact my contact. Okay, so I have the three different objects contact, but every object from this class contact. Okay, nice. So now let's insert the information about every each our objects contact. So for contact one, we insert the values for like a name, email, and phone for our contact. I using the name of object contact one and using this dot and selecting my property. Okay, so let's start using the name and set a value. I created my contact, the contact myself. Okay, so contact one name mail. I created André at the mail, the mail.com. Okay, and the last property is phone. I created a random phone. It's from Brazil. One example, okay? Very nice. So I created my contact, okay? It's in this form. I copied this sentence and send it and making the same thing for this contact too. And I'll create other contact. I don't know, Mary, My mother-in-law called my Mary. So let's indicate the order number. Okay. And now for complete, create my content tree. Oops. Okay. Nice. So I created three objects using different forms to create this. So I would like writing on the screen this information for every my object. So let's see how to make this. I using the CW tab console write line. So let's create information. Let's write information, sorry, for the first object, okay? So contact one, the name option, and I'm using the dollar double quotes. Insert the static name, the static text. Sorry, in the case, the text is name, and using double keys, I using the variable. So name, mail, as the contact one object, mail, and let's insert in the phone complete, right? So phone contact one and phone, nice. So that's a build application whereby if we have some problem or error, and if everything's okay, we can executing our app. Okay, don't receive any fail. So I believe that everything okay. So let's executing the app, clicking the play, or using the F5 key in your keyboard, and the console screen is showing for us. Let me get to this. And looking for the text writing on the debug console. We obtain the every or each property for our contact one object. Okay, so to complete, let's make the same thing for the other objects in the other lines. So I copy paste basically this line, and don't forget to change the object name. My object is contact 2. The next line I change for contact 3. Okay. Very nice. Contact 1, contact 2, contact 3. And if executing, I should be showing the details from each of my contacts. So executing again and looking for the debug console. I received the first and the second, but I don't receive my content 3. Let's verify what's wrong. Okay. Contact 3, name, phone. Oops. We don't change the name of object, okay? I created, instantiated the contact 3, but I don't change this option in the time this sets the values for our properties. For this reason, the contact 3 receive don't write in the right values. So let's do it again. And now, looking for the debug console, now we have in the writing values. Okay, so this is an example. They basically using in working to class, and every variable creating from a class I call like an object. So in this time, this example, we're creating three contacts. Three contacts. It's represented three objects from contact. Okay, and name, email, and phone It is not object. Each and this information is represented like a property from my class. And the other people call this like attributes. Okay, this name is acceptable too, but the most common it's using the properties. Okay, so this is a very, very simple example. I hope that you can to understand. If you have some issue, or double you can to add the comment. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you can to like this and share with your friends. In the next video, we'll see the other examples to work in creating more objects and the other techniques to work into in practice in the fact that using creating class and objects. Okay, so I'm gonna and bye bye. Enjoy.